see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it.
Oh shit, we're live. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Today is the 3rd of May, 2025. Gee, it rhymes. I'm a lyricist. Guys, I should get a record deal. But anyways, welcome to the Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Today is May 3rd, 2025, the year of our Lord, the year of the snake.
That's Jake the Snake, that's right. I saw you tried to do an impersonation of me. I didn't really like that. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you what I told Randy Orton. Is that I'm going to show you 12 feet of impact right now, all right? Just don't RKO with me.
Jesus Christ. We got JR here. He is our local impersonator. It's great. He adopted the Jake the Snake imperson. I was waiting for you to say the dark side is coming to AEW. But that didn't happen.
No. Well, I did have another story though. Well, before we start here, do you remember when I gave Randy Savage a nice little wedding present for him? I went to his wedding and I showed Elizabeth Damien. She got so scared that she started laughing at Damien. And then I gave Randy Savage a better present, having Damien bite him in the arm. And I had everybody scared, all the kids crying. It was some good shit.
Oh fuck! I should have turned my fan on. It's hot in here. But anyways, we got JR. He's our local. He's our local impersonator. It's great. And we got Chris over here, and I'm Sean. And we're going to do a quick introduction before we get into anything else. We're going to do a quick introduction because we are now streaming on Twitch. And we want people to see who we are and talk about who we are. So who wants to go first? JR, you want to go first?
I shall go first. JR is the name. That is actually my name. It is actually a short form of my name, believe it or not. I am from the Great White North of Canada in Toronto. Been a wrestling fan since, I want to say, in the 90s, early 90s, back when it was Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and all those guys there. And my passion for wrestling came, sharing it with my late brother. Used to watch it all the time with them. And then it kept going through all these years, through the ups, through the downs, and I think I love about wrestling is just the storylines. Just basically having you sit down, escape from reality, and just see what they deliver. And it's why I love wrestling, why I love WWE a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely. Chris, you want to go next?
I'm Chris. I'm based out of Florida. I've been watching wrestling probably since I was 7. So around the time when Austin was getting big, first fell in love with wrestling probably after that promo that Austin cut to Jake the Snake at King of the Ring. I love wrestling for the promos and the storytelling. Guys like Bray Wyatt, who is, one of the biggest inspirations of this podcast, and guys like Cena, guys like Orton, and so many others that are just so good at what they do that keep you hooked and invested. I'm a WWE fan pretty much my entire life. I try to give other promotions a watch, just to see what they offer, like TNA and such. Fuck AEW.
All right. We're there. We're there. And my name is Sean. I am a U.S. Army veteran. I've been all over the fucking planet, but I call Maryland home. And I started watching wrestling. My first memory in life was Andre and Hogan at WrestleMania 3. And from then I was hooked. I primarily watch WWE. I've watched all different kinds of product. All of the big names that you can think of, from New Japan to AEW to TNA and everything in between. And I find my joy mostly in WWE, just primarily for the fact that the storytelling is very on par with what I enjoy. The in ring action, the storytelling in the ring is phenomenal. We do the impersonation of Jake the Snake, but he's probably one of my favorite storytellers of all time, as well as like Bray Wyatt. Once again, like Chris said, that's why this channel is heavily inspired through Bray Wyatt. We love Bray Wyatt.
What's up, Ryan?
Ryan said, "What's up, boys? What's going on, Ryan?"
What up, Ryan? What up, buddy?
Yeah, and so I love WWE. If there's something that intrigues me, I'll check it out. But I enjoy WWE to its fullest. But yeah, so that's who we are for everybody watching on Twitch. We are streaming on Twitch. That's big. This is big for us. Little big for us, yes, boy. Anyways, also today is or this year's the year of retirements. We got the retirement of John Cena. We got the potential retirement of Bill Goldberg, potential retirement of Jeff Jarrett, even though that's kind of fallen off the rails. We don't know anything about that. What's happening there?
And just recently, a shout out to the legendary Mako Satomura, just retired this week there. So congratulations to her.
Yep, and also the young retirement of Fuego del Sol. We don't know if that's going to be a thing that he keeps or that he. Yeah, I know Chris doesn't like him, but for me,
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say shit.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. As a person, I respect him. The performer, I wish I would have been able to see a little bit more out of him. But anyways, so yeah, we got the year of retirements. On this show, we cover a wide variety of things. We cover today in wrestling history. We find it important to go back into the history and look and see what happened and where we are now. And we also cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and any premium live events, and then any big news. And we're going to be covering some really big news that happened last night and even into today later on in the show. So before we dive into it, we have a tradition here. We like to pop the top on whatever we're drinking. And JR, what are you drinking?
So I am actually just drinking a coffee from McDonald's. Got it from after I had my little gym session this morning. Powered through some bench presses today, so did that, and just powering through with some black coffee. So
you were doing chest for the best.
That's right, damn right.
That's for the best. All right, Chris, what you drinking on today?
Got a wild berry Red Bull.
Woo! Shit's good. I've got a Monster Riho Punch. We are not sponsored. I would love to be sponsored by somebody, but we're not sponsored. I like to throw that in there every single time. We got that, and then I've got a little 7-Eleven strawberry lemonade right here for later on. Once again, not sponsored. 7-Eleven, if you want to sponsor me, sponsor us. We'd be more than happy to do that. Yeah. We're not big enough to be sponsored by anybody. But anyways, guys, we're gonna. My hands are. Guys, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna. God damn it. We're gonna pop the top on our drinks.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers to y'all. Let's have a good show.
Yep.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the.
Yeah.
It's like ingested gasoline.
Oh.
Yeah. Woo. Anyways, so
Really grabs you by the boo boo, doesn't it?
all right. Really grabs you by the man junk. Squeezes. It's good shit.
Stings
Some
the
bench
knot.
type. Stings the quite pungent. Really stings the nostrils. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start the show off right, and we're gonna get into today in wrestling history, and JR is gonna cover that for us.
Absolutely. Let us do it here. So, as always, since we're on a new month, we always like to go to the first day of the month here. So we're going to do May 1st and today, May 3rd. So let's get to May 1st. Note, though, there are two things that are not included in this list here. I will mention it here. One is a promo and a birthday. So we will mention that there. But we'll start here in 1981. 4 days after losing the NWA World Heavyweight Championship to Tommy Rich, Harley Race recaptures the title in Gainesville, Georgia, the home of one phenomenal AJ Styles. 1986, WWE taped the 6th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event in Providence Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. The show would air on NBC 2 days later. The opening match saw Brother, aka Hulk Hogan, and the Dog defeat Terry and Haas Funk. And the main event was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Tag Team Championship that saw the British Bulldogs, of Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid defeat the Iron Sheik Bebe and also the late Nikolai Volkov 2-1. There we go. 1998, at the APW Grimes O'Grady Send-Off Show in Hayward, California, Vic Grimes defeated Max Justice to become the new APW Universal Heavyweight Champion. Grimes vacated the belt 8 days later as he was leaving APW to join the WWF. Who the heck is Vic Grimes? I don't know. No idea. 1998, same year, Sanford, North Carolina, Joey Matthews won the Omega Light Heavyweight title after defeating Kid Dynamo. Okay. Not same year. AGPW Showdown at the Egg was held at the Tokyo Dome in Japan in front of 58,300 fans. Chris said that you just mentioned. Got on. Sorry. Okay. In the main event, Toshi.
Guys, girls just want to have fun.
Toshiaki Kawada defeated Mitsuharu Misawa. There we go. To win the All Japan Triple Crown Championship. Okay, we're good.
Hey, hold on. Pause. Hold on. Pause.
Kiss my ass. This show sucks.
That's down by
for that. 1999, APW, Good Things Happen to Bad Boys. Oh, great. What a name of that is. Held in Pinole, California. Boyce LaGranda become the new APW Universal Heavyweight Champion on the show after beating Max Justice by pinfall. Okay, 2000, on Monday Night Raw, Tag Team Champions Edge and Christian made their way to the ring. On the microphone, Edge said that he knows everyone is disappointed that he didn't run through the crowd because it's become a bit much. Instead, that for the next 5 seconds, we will pose for every one of you with the benefit of flash photography. And so the famous 5-second pose was born. They used to do all that there.
Sick nasty.
Yeah. 2003, unfortunately, Miss Elizabeth Hewlett, died as a result of acute toxicity in Marietta, Georgia. She was only 42 years of age. Rest in peace, Miss Elizabeth.
Hey, really quick.
Yeah.
I think Shotzi just got released.
No.
I kind of figured that was happening there. Oh, boy. We'll get to all those later on there. Dang, Shotzi. Dang. 2004 had CZW Apocalypse in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Chris Hero defeated Jimmy Rave to win the CZW Ironman title. Now here we go. 2004 Kaiju Big Battle Mayday, Boston SOS was held in Boston, Massachusetts. Uni Bozu, a radioactive sea urchin, defeated Hell Monkey, a one-eyed red monkey, in the danger cage to win the Kaiju Grand Championship, but was then challenged straight away by Dr. Cube, square box for a head. During the match, Kung Fu Chicken
What?
Chicken Noodle, a giant can of soup, attacked both wrestlers, and then Cube managed to get up and dive from the top of the cage onto Unibuzu, hit him with the Iconoclasm, and get the pin to become the new Kaiju Grand Champion. Okay, that's great.
Bro, I swear to God, Kaiju is so much fun to watch.
That's so much fun. A giant can of soup. That's great. Oh my goodness. 2005 WWE Backlash was held in the Verizon Wireless Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire, in front of 14,000 fans. On the show, Shelton Benjamin defeated Chris Jericho with a roll through bridge pin to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Haha. Rosie and the Hurricane defeated Tajiri and William Regal, the Heartthrobs, Simon Dean and Maven, and La Resistance in a tag team turmoil match to win the World Tag Team Championship. Rest in peace to Rosie, the superhero in training. Edge defeated Error 404 in a last man standing match. Chris Masters defeated Melissa Coates in a Master Lock challenge. That's fun. Kane, accompanied by Lita, defeated Viscera, accompanied by Trish Stratus. After the match, Trish berated Viscera for losing until he got her in a bear hug and followed it with a big splash. And Trish was taken out on a stretcher and was kayfabe out of action for 4 months. Brother and Shawn Michaels defeated Muhammad Hassan and Daivari after Michaels hit Daivari with a sweet chin music, allowing Hogan to get the pin and the win. Surprise, surprise. And in the main event, Batista defeated Triple H to win the World Heavyweight, to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Batista, yes.
The Mamano Batista.
I shot the lasers from my arms like I'm 3 years old. 2006, Joey Styles quit as play-by-play commentator on Monday Night Raw with one of the most effective work-shoot promos in WWE history. After targeting Vince McMahon and others with a scathing speech, Styles pulled the WWE-branded collar off his microphone and resigned. The angle was designed to remove Styles from Raw to allow him to act as the lead commentator for the soon-to-relaunch WWE ECW brand with a real attitude-infused edge to him.
The worst thing for it.
Yeah. 2011, WWE Extreme Rules took place at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa, Florida, in front of roughly 10,000 fans. On the pay-per-view, Randy Orton defeated CM Punk in a last man standing match after hitting him with an RKO from the top rope. Kofi Kingston defeated Sheamus in a tables match to win the United States Championship for a second time. Michael Cole and Jack Swagger defeated Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler in a country whipping match. Rey Mysterio defeated Cody Rhodes in a Falls Count Anywhere match. The match ended after Mysterio spit mist into Rhodes' face, delivered a 619, and hit a springboard splash for the pin. Layla defeated Michelle McCool in a no disqualification loser leaves WWE match. Post-match, Michelle McCool was beaten down by a debuting Karma, aka
I was there for that show.
Oh yeah, nice. There you go. There you go. Good memories there. Christian defeated Alberto Del Rio in a ladder match to win the vacant World Heavyweight Championship for the first time in his career. Yep.
That was after Edge retired.
Yep, that's right. It was with Edge's help. That's right. Big Show and Kane defeated Wade Barrett and Ezekiel Jackson in a lumberjack match to win the tag team titles. And John Cena defeated The Miz and John Morrison in a triple threat steel cage match to win the WWE Championship for an 8th time. After the show went off the air, Cena announced to the live audience that the terrorist Osama bin Laden had been caught and compromised to a permanent end. I remember that. Yeah.
That was when R-Truth was a heel, when he was smoking cigarettes. This shit was so weird.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. And he had little Jimmy there. Yeah, little Jimmy. At AAW Take No Prisoners in Marionette Park, Illinois, Josh Alexander defeated both Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe in a 3-way elimination match to win the AAW heavyweight title, not AEW, AAW. IWA 2016, IWA MS Derby Madness was held at the Pride Bar and Lounge in New Albany, Indiana. In the main event of the show, Reed Bentley won the heavyweight title after beating Congo Kong. All right. 2016, on the DTU Luchando por los Niños show in Tulancingo, Hidalgo, the DTU Nexo titles changed hands when Titan and Triton outlasted the teams of Drastic Boy and Jinzo and Lanceloth and Rocky Lobo in a 3-way tag team match. Okay. 2016, Payback was held in Chicago, Illinois in front of 13,250 fans. On the show, a #1 contenders match between Enzo Amore and Big Cass against the Bold Villains of Aiden English and Simon Gotch ended in a no contest after Amore's head hit the ring hard after bouncing off the middle rope, followed by Amore falling onto the floor at ringside, apparently knocked out.
Dog, no joke. I thought he was selling the shit out of that.
Simon
Me
got
too.
that on purpose.
Yeah, he may have done that on purpose, knowing their history.
He said
there.
that
Yeah.
he said in an interview he did it on purpose. After they got released, he said that shit.
What an
What a piece of shit.
Wow. He's a piece of shit. Yeah. Whatever. Glad they didn't.
Hold on. We got something for you, Simon Gotch.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, John, for that. Yep. Fuck Simon Gotch there. Kevin Owens beat Sami Zayn following a pop-up powerbomb. The Miz retained the Intercontinental Championship against Cesaro after a distraction at ringside from Zayn and Owens gave The Miz the chance to get a roll-up pin on Cesaro. I do remember that there. Dean Ambrose pinned Chris Jericho by pinfall. In a repeat of the infamous Montreal Screwjob, Charlotte Flair defeated Natalya when referee Charles Robinson called for the bell as Charlotte applied the sharpshooter, despite Natalya not having submitted. I don't know why they did that there, but well, Bret Hart was there apparently. Remember, Bret Hart was his first appearance since his beating testicular cancer, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they just decided, oh yeah, Bret's there. Let's do the screw job. Okay,
I'm sure that was Goldberg's fault too.
Oh yeah, it was Goldberg's fault. Oh, of course it is. Yes. And in the main event, Roman Reigns defended the World Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles. Styles won the match by countout, but Shane McMahon announced the match would be restarted and would now be a no countout match. Later in the match, the referee thought that Reigns hit Styles with a low blow and called for the bell. However, Stephanie McMahon showed up to announce the match would carry on as a no disqualification match, and then Reigns finally won the match by pinfall after hitting Styles with a spear and retained the World Heavyweight Championship. So notable birthdays. We have AC Romero, 1990. 1998, We Believe in Joe Hendry. Congratulations. Happy birthday to him.
Yo, really quick.
Yeah.
Sean, check that clip that I just sent you. This is perfect for the happy birthday.
Oh. There you go. Human Tornado, 1983. Jack Bull, 1970. 1965, Tim Storm. And one birthday that wasn't mentioned in here, Tiffany Stratton's birthday was on May 1st. So happy birthday to Miss Women's Champion there, Tiffany Stratton. But also on May 1st, which was not mentioned here either, was the very infamous promo that everybody knows. Well, I don't know if they know off by heart, but let's educate some people into some Steiner math, shall we? Let me read this out here. You know, they say that all men are created equal. But you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe, and you see that statement is not true. See, normally, if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% chance at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix. Your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me. He's not going to try. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, you got a 8 1/3 chance of winning a Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, lose to go one-on-one, and then add 66 2/3%, I got a 141 2/3 chance of winning a Sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and this spelled disaster for you at Sacrifice.
Hold on. Pause.
Son of a bitch.
What's up?
Unfucking believable.
Yep, that's Steiner math for you there. Steiner math. Yep,
Will
that's right.
says Steiner math. Sorry, just came in. Yeah, yes, Steiner math.
Steiner math. Yep. And now we have May 3rd for today. So we have Shane Douglas and Al Snow here. Okay, let's see what happened here.
What does everybody want?
Head.
What does everybody need?
In 1987, May 3rd, in Dallas, Texas, WCWA held the 4th annual Von Erich Memorial Parade of Champions. The event was held by WCCW promoter Fritz Von Erich in memory of his sons David and Mike. On the show, Matt Bourne and Scott Casey defeated Black Bart and Jack Victory. Steve Dahl defeated Killer Tim Brooks. Cousin Jr. defeated the Grappler. Red River Jack and Spike Huber defeated Abdullah the Butcher and Eli the Eliminator. And as the match stipulation, Red River Jack got an immediate match against manager Gary Hart, which Jack won by countout. Mil Mascaras defeated Al Madril. Skip Young defeated Brian Adias in a lumberjack match. And WCWA World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Von Erich fought Nord the Barbarian to a double countout to retain the title. The Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, and Steve Simpson defeated the Rock and Roll RPMs, Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, and Eric Embry in a 6-man scaffold match. And in the main event of the night, Bruiser Brody defeated Jeep Swenson. There's a card
If
there.
there's one wrestler I wish that I followed, it'd probably be Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody, yes. Yeah, that was a story of his death there. That's something I wish I had more information on, man. Jeez, that was quite tragic there.
They did a fucking Dark Side of the Ring about him, didn't they?
Yes,
yeah, they did. I think that was their first episode that they ever put out.
There we go.
I mean, Dark Side of the Ring. Dark Side of the Ring had really good. Yes, Mil Mascaras is Alberto's dad. They had good intentions, but then it just kind of
turned into hit pieces.
Yeah,
exactly. Hate pieces, exactly. It turned to basically self-destruction of Ultimate Warrior in episode fashion.
I think they lost me when they did the Brian Pillman episode. I was really pissed off that they ended up promoting AEW at the end of that doc. Because it's like, dog, what the fuck are we doing?
I know. Very, very weird there. 1993, WWF champion Brother defeated IWGP heavyweight champion The Great Muta at New Japan Wrestling Dontaku in Japan. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, isn't that the fucking the match that everybody sucks off Hulk Hogan for being really good?
Maybe. I personally tell people to watch that match just because everybody says 5 moves of doom, and I get it, but I point him to that match because it proves that Hogan could actually wrestle. He was just kind of limited in what he did for WWE.
Yeah,
Hogan's a cunt.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Brother. I don't know. On a pre-match interview, Brother said that the WWE champion was just a toy and that the IWGP heavyweight title was the only one he really wanted, which got him in a lot of bother with the WWE officials when he got back to America. Oh, good job there, brother. Jeez.
Brother.
Oh, boy. 1995, New Japan Wrestling Dontaku was held in Fukuoka, Japan in front of 48,000 fans. 2 titles changed hands on the show. The first was when Sabu defeated Koji Kanemoto to take the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Then in the main event, Keiji Muto became the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion when he pinned Shinya Hashimoto. Easy to pronounce there. Okay, that's good. 1997, New Japan Wrestling Strong Style Evolution was held in the Osaka Dome in Japan in front of 47,000 fans. Manabu Nakanishi and Satoshi Kojima became the tag team champions for IWGP after defeating Kensuke Sasaki and Riki Chozo. Riki Chozo, okay. 1998, Dave the Rabe and Rip Rogers defeated Nick Densmore and Rob Conway at OVW Jefferson Show in Indiana to win the OVW Southern Tag Team titles. Nick Densmore, aka Eugene. 1998, ECW WrestlePalooza 98 on enemy turf was held at the Cobb County Civic Center in Marietta, Georgia, in front of 3,401 fans. On the show, the BWO, the Blue Meanie, and Supernova defeated the FBI of Little Guido and Tracy Smothers.
Unpopular
Just
opinion,
incredible.
the BWO wasn't that great.
Oh, it's just a parody of the NWO. I mean, yeah, it wasn't supposed to be great. So, but
I just never got the appeal. Like, I understood the point of it, but I just never understood the appeal.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Just Incredible defeated Mikey Whipwreck. Chris Candido and Lance Storm defeated the Hardcore Chair Swinging Freaks, Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten, to retain the ECW World Tag Team Championship.
Balls Mahoney, dog.
Balls Mahoney, yes. Yep. Wait, I know.
I want to talk about a dude who, in my opinion, was one of the hearts of that company that so many people would tell you the same. And I think he was just so fucking good at swinging a chair. And I know that sounds corny, but dude, the fucking chair shots that man had on people are just incredible to watch.
Dog. Naomi just posted up. If I was doing the releases, I would have kept everyone and just released Jade Cargill.
Naomi, oh my goodness, your promo work wasn't great this week, but your social media has just been outstanding. Good for you. But yes, Chris, rest in peace to Balls Mahoney there. Absolutely. Speaking of rest in peace, Bam Bam Bigelow defeated New Jack. Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman defeated the Dudley Boys of Ray and Diva. RVD retained the ECW Television Championship against Sabu when they fought to a 30-minute time limit draw. Shane Douglas defeated Al Snow by pinfall to retain the ECW Championship, and it was the final appearance for Snow before returning to the WWF later. There you go. That was.
Dude, you can say that he had the Yeet entrance before it was ever called Yeet. Remember with that with the rave type entrance with the styrofoam heads?
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Yes. 2002, night one of IWA MS Locked and Loaded was in Knights of Columbus Hall in Indianapolis, Indiana. Ace Steel won the IWA MS Light Heavyweight title in a 30-minute Ironman match against Vic Capri. And later in the show, Cash Flow and Ian Rotten defeated Mitch Page and Roland Hard to become the new IWA MS Tag Team Champions. What kind of a name is Rolling Hard? Okay, that does not sound right. But anyways, 2006, in the main event of an OVW taping in Louisville, Kentucky, CM Punk defeated Brent Albright in a strap match to win the heavyweight championship from OVW. Same year, at the New Japan Wrestling New Japan Cup show in Fukuoka, Japan, Koji Kanemoto defeated Tiger Mask to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
What was his name again?
Koji Kanemoto. Sorry, am I missing something there? Or
you didn't hear the noise? You didn't hear it? Look, listen.
I can't hear anything.
Damn it.
I think
hold on. Let me move my mic closer to it. Tell me if you can hear it.
Oh, you gotta be stop, dude. Stop. I already okay. It may get worse on this, but we'll see. 3 titles changed hands in 2008 at the IWA MS Night of Champions, which was held in Joliet, Indiana. There's a lot of places in Indiana for this. But what are the Cheech and Cloudy defeated Devin Moore and Mickey Knuckles to win the tag titles.
Cheech and Cloudy?
Cheech and Cloudy, yes. I just realized. Corporal Robinson took the deathmatch title after defeating Danny Havoc. And in the main event, Chuck Taylor defeated Claudio Castagnoli, oh great, to become the new MS Heavyweight Champion. Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro, everybody knows that. But anyways, same year, 1PW, the Underground, the graduation day was held in Edlington, England. And in the main event, Martin Stone defeated both Darkseid and Lionheart in a 3-way match to become the new 1PW openweight champion.
Lionheart, as in Chris Jericho?
I don't think it's Lionheart Chris Jericho. He was still in WWE at that time, so it can't be Lionheart Chris Jericho there.
Weird.
It's probably somebody else's Lionheart. I guess he got permission, whatever. 2009, Shimmer Volume 26 was held in Burnwin, Illinois. The Canadian Ninjas of Nicole Matthews and Portia Perez defeated Ashley Lane and Navia to win the Shimmer Tag Team belts and would hold them for the next 692 days. Whoa, that's a long title reign there. 2010, New Japan Wrestling Dontaku was held at the Fukuoka International Center in Fukuoka, Japan, in front of 6,000 people. Jushin Thunder Liger became the new CMLL middleweight champion after defeating Negro Casas, and in a three-way tag team match, Wataru Inoue and Yuji Nagata outlasted Tetsuya Naito and Yujiro Takahashi and Giant Bernard and Carl Anderson to become the IWGP World Tag Team Champions. And in the main event, Togi Makabe defeated Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Hey, the guy whose last name was Casas, was that the same
Yes.
guy who had Penta's last match in Lucha Underground?
I don't know. Do you know, Sean? I'm not 100% sure about Lucha.
No, I don't know.
You
I don't know.
Okay, there we go. Once again, New Japan Wrestling 2012. Wrestling Dodaku took place at the Fukuoka International Center in Fukuoka, Japan. Low-Key became the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion after defeating Prince Devitt, now known as Finn Balor. And later in the show, Takahashi Iizuka, whatever, and Toru Yano beat Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships. Again, New Japan Wrestling Dontaku was held at the Fukuoka International Center in 2013. The Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship belts were won by Alex Kozlov and Rocky Romero after they beat Alex Shelley and Kushida. And then Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima won a four-way tag team match against the teams of Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer, Manabu Nakanishi and Strongman, and Takahashi Lizua and Toru Yano to claim the IWGP World Tag Team titles.
Wasn't Shelley and Kushida, wasn't that Time Splitters?
That's the Time Splitters. Yes, that's right. And then they brought him here for a brief period in NXT. And then obviously Alex Shelley went back to Japan and then back to TNA for a while until he came to WWE. So, yeah, I kind of miss Kushida. I actually liked Kushida a lot there.
Bro, I fucking love Jacket Time. I do not care. Jacket Time was so much fun.
Oh, the Jacket Time was so entertaining. Yeah, I loved it.
What was the other dude's name?
Oh, it's on the top of my. It's the Ikemanjiro. That's it. There you go.
Dude,
yes, that was my favorite. Oh, you're so great. Ikemanjiro is so great.
Jacket Time.
And he used to call. And he had a program with Big Body Javi, and he called him Big Body Chicken. Oh man, I miss you, Ikemanjiro. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Day one of the same 2013. Day one of EWF's 17th anniversary extravaganza was held in Covina, California. Marty Elias defeated Brandon Gaston in a street fight to win the EWF heavyweight champion, but didn't have it for long, as in the main event, Mike Mays won a 44-man Great Goliath Royal Rumble to take back the title. Okay. Oh, come on, really? In the main event of NJ and New Japan Wrestling Totaku show in Japan. Okay, fine. It has this person here. AJ Styles defeated Okada to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Beach. There you go. Cool. Really? Okay, right.
Beach.
Here we go again. 2015. New Japan Wrestling Dontaku was held at the Fukuoka International Center. Matt and Nick Jansen, the Balding Bucks, became the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions after winning a three-way tag against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and Beretta and Rocky Romero. And in the main event, Hiroki Goto defeated Shinsuke Nakamura to win the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Bro, I will say Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly had such a badass song. The Red Dragon?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was not too bad. I did like their theme there.
They were pretty. They were pretty solid fucking tag team too until they left WWE.
Yeah. Yes. I
Just
agree.
like everybody else who was in the Undisputed Era. But what do I know?
We're just haters.
Yes,
That's right.
we are. Sorry, guys. Yeah. No, we're not sorry. Anyways, 2016, Matt Sydal and Trevor defeated Beretta and Rocky Romero at Wrestling Dontaku to become the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Later in the show, Kenny Omega and the Balding Bucks took the never open weight 6-man tag team titles after defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi, Michael Elgin, and Yoshitatsu.
Did you say the Balding Bucks?
Yeah, I call them the Balding Bucks. Why?
They don't have a full fucking head of hair.
That's it. That's true.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Their bald spot looks worse than John Cena's did.
Exactly. Thank you very much there. Jeez.
I think it's funny.
2017, Wrestling Dotaku was back in the same area. Only one title changed hands on the show, and that was when Bushi, Evil, and Sanada defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi, Trevor, and Ryusuke Taguchi for the never openweight 6-man tag team belts.
Yo.
Uh-oh. Did you drop change again? Really?
Jesus Christ.
Oh boy.
We're gonna get kicked off of Twitch before we even get started.
Worse about that?
I
Okada's theme song is a fucking coin drop.
Yep. I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. John Wayne Murdoch defeated Calvin Tankman at IWA MS Derby Madness in Indiana to win the heavyweight title.
Any relation to Trevor Murdoch?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. 2018, day one of Wrestling Dotaku, held in Fukuoka, Japan. Great. Marty Scurll, and the Balding Bucks won the 6-man tag team titles when they beat Bad Luck Fail. And come on, you have to beat Tama and Tonga Loa. Come on, jeez.
Of course, the pedos got to go over.
Yeah, I guess so. Great. Great. Once again, 2019, Wrestling Dotaku. Let's just read it here. Taichi defeated Jeff Cobb to win the never openweight championship. Then in the main event, Dragon Lee. Oh, okay, cool. We know Dragon Lee retained the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title against Taiji Ishimori. Okay, thank God. Okay, no more New Japan there.
Oh.
Okay, we're done here. Wrestling birthdays.
I've got
Heather Monroe.
I've got some shit.
Heather Monroe, 1990. Dana Lee, 1980. Monster Mac, 1979. And rest in peace, legendary Stu Hart, 1915. Happy birthday to you, sir. We all miss you. And that's your day in wrestling.
Absolutely. Yep.
Is it in the chat? Let me see. Uh-oh. Okay.
No, dude, listen.
I can't hear it from my reception here, so I have to go to the playback and find out.
No, it's coin drops. I got a sound for coin drops.
You got to get the sound bite from Okada's theme song, bro.
Yeah, I tried, but at any rate, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna move into Monday Night Raw.
Hold on.
Yeah, that happened. Anyways, so Monday Night Raw was live from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Not Kansas City, Kansas, but Missouri. The show opened up with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman coming out. And, look, man, this to me is what this promo is what the Messiah should have been during the pandemic, right? And so he started cutting pretty decent promo, and then Sami Zayn came out. and Sami Zayn was pretty much like, you're my friend, but this is bullshit, right? Like, you fucking suck. When is Becky gonna be added to? You know what? We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But so Sami Zayn was criticizing Seth by pretty much everything, and then calling him a hypocrite because he said that the person that like is associated with all of this was Paul Heyman, right? Paul Heyman was with Punk, then he was with the Bloodline, and now he's with Seth, and that like pretty much Paul Heyman is a fucking leech. Seth gave Sammy one time to choose, and he said, "You're going to either switch shows and be successful, and I can set you up for success on another show, or get these hands by Braun Breaker," which is great, man. Braun should just like that's what he should be used for. Is just absolute destruction. Sammy saying that Braun is what said to Jacob. Yeah, pretty much.
I did like that one. That was a good line.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I want to say something to you, the Messiah comment. I think they couldn't really gauge what the fans were gonna think of the Messiah character because it was in the pandemic when he was that character. By the time we were out of the pandemic, if I'm not mistaken, that's when we were starting the drip Seth Rollins.
Yeah. And that, that's the, the pandemic, right? Like you said, they couldn't gauge what the actual response would be from the fans. So that was kind of like, a shitty turn of events because that was a great character and a great stable. So on Bleacher Report, some of the top moments and takeaways. By the way, we hate Bleacher Report, but they have some of the most accurate reporting.
Did you hear my rant on them last week, JR?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll have to go back to the playback on that to listen to it. I'll listen to it. Yeah. But
so one of the things that Seth said that caught their eye was the future of the industry runs through Seth Rollins. And
who, Seth?
Yeah. Like,
he's not wrong.
Yeah, he isn't wrong. He's in standard bearer right now. I was going to ask, would it be a risk to have Braun add the Steiner screwdriver to his moveset? Nope. I would love it. If he can execute it and not injure people, I think it'd be great. Next.
My thing with that is, like, I don't want to see him rely so much on that Steiner name to add to not only his character, but his moveset. Like,
and what are you going to Go ahead. I was going to say, what are you going to call it? The Breaker?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like with his spear alone, like he's got, in my opinion, he has the greatest spear in the entire fucking industry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When people were saying that in NXT, I'm like, yeah, I don't see that. I still think Roman's was better. And then he hit that one on Carlito. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Well, so for me, on top of that too, like he stopped doing the Steiner recline.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to.
Yeah, he doesn't do that Steiner top rope bulldog anymore for the most part. I haven't seen him do it on the main roster. The next thing that they said was when Sammy said to Seth, maybe you just wanted to be in the position that they were in. So Seth so Punk and Roman. Which is fucking great.
We said that last week where, this is catapulting Seth's career.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Seth responded and said, "You're clearly not buying into what we're selling, so maybe we can cash you out. It's not a threat, it's an offer." So pretty much, putting him in a position to be successful. Our first match of the night was Rhea versus Roxanne. It was good. It was a good match. I'm glad to see some of the NXT women get featured on Raw. I think that the Raw women's roster is not deep, not with anybody that is a formidable opponent for Io.
I mean, I feel like that on both rosters though, on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree. So we're seeing Stephanie Vakir, which is great. I have no problems with her. We're seeing Julia, we're seeing Roxanne come up, and so that's cool. It's pretty awesome. But Rhea beat Roxanne by disqualification. after a run-in from Julia, and then we had Io come in into the fold to even the odds. Next, we had the Jey Uso and Logan Paul. Logan cut a decent promo. It wasn't great. It wasn't his best. I've heard before.
And shaky on both sides.
Yeah, it was shaky on both sides. I think what I really, really liked about Jay's promo was he, when he came out and he said, I worked my ass off to get here, right? And like they're really relying on the Logan Paul YouTuber character, right? Of like making it be known that you don't belong, right? So when Jay said, I worked my ass off, and you think that I'm just going to hand over this championship to a YouTuber, you're fucking wrong. You're going to have to take it from me. And then Logan started to retort, and he got a super kick for his problems.
Brilliant.
I think one of the coolest things about it was like when Jay was cutting his promo and they would flash the camera. Jay definitely paid his dues. Yep. I think one of the more better moments of that promo was when Jay was talking and they flashed it over to Logan. He was like we've heard this shit before, right? And like I don't want to hear this. So it was quite enjoyable. That was pretty awesome. Next, we had the War Raiders and Judgment Day. It was a match that Finn was not ready for, but JD was. JD knew. So there's more division in the club of the Judgment Day. Also, we found out that Liv is going to be getting some time off. Liv and Raquel are going to be getting time off because Liv is filming a movie.
Congratulations to her. Congratulations.
Absolutely. So the match ended in fucking complete chaos. We seen JD get up on the top rope, Penna fucking caused them the match, and the War Raiders picked up the win. Further division in Judgment Day, and so it's pretty awesome. We had Xavier Woods. We had the New Day ringside during this match.
I need them on commentary on a fucking weekly basis. I was crying.
These guys are so good. These guys are so good with it as a heel. Oh my god, they're so great.
Absolutely, and it was enjoyable to hear them on commentary and just shitting on everybody.
Had some fucking singers in there. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Kofi, man, where did this come from? Yeah, that wasn't Kofi. That was Mr. 24/7. If you any up, down fans.
I really enjoyed like when all four of the men were in the ring or out of the ring and they were getting Judgment Day back in the ring, and Kofi was like, "Get him back!" Or no, Woods was like, "Get him back in the ring, you idiot! Get him back in the ring." Shit was hilarious. Will said that what's wild is New Day is still doing up, down despite being heels. Yeah,
I mean it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's Austin Creed. Remember, it's not their characters there.
Yeah. So the next segment we had was Becky Lynch addressing her heel turn. And, at first when it happened last week, I was like, this is fucking terrible, right? Because, like, Chris and I talked last week, Lyra was no-selling it, right? Like, completely no-selling it. She would get the manhandle slam, and she'd get back up. Manhandle slam, get back up.
But like I was saying to you last week, though, Becky being the in-ring veteran that she is, should have made that call-out. Listen, you got to sell it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. But this week, when Becky came out and she was explaining to it, I was like, it makes fucking sense.
One of the best promos I've heard from a female since maybe Roxanne turning heel.
Yeah. And she explained that she was like, I've gone over the evidence and I've looked at the videos and I did it. I attacked Bailey, and why did I attack Bailey? Because Bailey has always for our whole time on the main roster, Bailey has attacked me, and now when I get retribution on her, you guys boo me, right? And like she was like the saying of my friend of my or the enemy of my enemy is my friend. She was like, well, the same goes in reverse. The friend of my enemy is my enemy. And so that's why she turned on it. Would have been funny if Becky said, my husband turned heel. Why can't I? Yeah. And then so Lyra came out, and Lyra pretty much, challenged her to a fight. Said, I don't want to be the next Becky Lynch. I want to be the first Lyra Valkyria, which was cool.
Yeah.
Challenged her for a match. And so there's a match set up at Backlash. Look, if Becky doesn't take the Intercontinental Championship and set up for like a long time feud between the two of them, I don't know why that heel turn.
So I need Bailey to be involved in this match in one fashion or another.
Yeah.
I would love to see her cost Becky.
Yeah.
With all of these releases recently, I'm on edge with any talent name because, as we saw, Braun Strowman being one of the bigger names that they have. No. I know. I'm not saying any more than that. I'm just making a point.
Fair. That's a fair point.
I don't want to see Bailey join that list. I don't think she would, but never say never. I hate saying that because everybody else does, but
that's true.
Yeah, well,
yeah. So Will, I'm not going to pull up that comment, but we'll talk about the releases later on after SmackDown. But anyways, one of the better moments in the promo that Bleacher Report pulled out was saying that I know exactly. Lyra said, "I know exactly what you are. The illusion of Becky Lynch is dead." Pretty much saying like you're a skeleton. You're a shell of who you used to be.
And I love how she mentioned like everybody in the back warned me about you.
Yeah,
Lyra's no, you're good, Will. Lyra has come so far since she joined that main roster because one thing I was really afraid of when she got called up is the same worry I now have for Zoe Starks is the growth problem. I feel like so many of these talents are still in that PC mentality where let's see how many moves I can get. Let's see what crowd members I can pop, which if you're a great wrestler, that's fine. But the problem is you need to translate that to 10 to 15,000 fans and a casual audience.
Mm-hmm. So next we had Rusev, a package from Rusev. Pretty much, it was great. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I know Chris has other thoughts, and that's fine. But I thought it was great. Pretty much, he said I fixed my arrogance when I was in exile from WWE. So he was saying he fixed himself in AEW to become who he is now, and in the abyss. But I think the other thing that was really funny was he said the same thing about WWE when he was in AEW. So it's a play. No.
Oh no. He's his own man. Let him be his own.
Yeah, he's his own man. So I see shades of the Redeemer, and I love the Redeemer character. I see shades of the other character they played right after the Redeemer, where he was kind of like saying that God is dead. So I like it. I enjoyed it. I would like to see what they do in his match coming up. And from all I've heard, Lana did sign a contract too, so she may be coming back in some fashion as his manager, which I'm okay with because they worked great as a package deal. Chris,
respectfully,
your thoughts?
Lana.
I went back and listened to the promo after I muted my TV when it first came on. He's going to need to do something for me to care. I don't respect anything of that AEW has done for wrestlers. I was not impressed with the Redeemer character because just like Jade, every person that was put in the ring with Rusev was a nobody. Almost everybody. And then he lost it to Sammy Guevara, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
Which is even worse.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when you translate that character to WWE audience and his first match is Otis, and no disrespect to Otis, I love Otis. But when you had that be his first match, where on the other card, when we talk about SmackDown and who said wrestler had their said debut match coming back, I don't know. I'm not confident that this is going to make Rusev look great because Otis, as good as he is for what limited things he can do, I just don't really see it catapulting Rusev to a believable level for me. I could be wrong. Like I said, Bronson Reed changed my mind 1,000%.
Yeah.
But Rusev,
I think
nothing's clicking for me right now.
Well, I think
for now. Yeah.
For now, I have no clue who that is on Twitch.
It's a bot.
Yeah, it's a bot. Anyways,
And well, yes, I love Alpha Academy too. We all do. They're great. I mean,
yeah. So I think one of the things about that too is like I'll speak on this about the AEW thing. Is when he won the TNT Championship, he won it from Darby, which at the time Darby was super fucking over, and I know we have feelings about some of the performers, but to say nonetheless they they took it off of Darby and put it on him because they were going to elevate Darby to another level, which never really happened. And then he was running through people. I'd have to look at the list of people he beat, but he was running through some formidable contenders in the division. And then on the eighth match, he lost it to Sammy, and Sammy was like super over, right? And so whether we like Sammy or we don't like him as a human being, he was super over. And so that was a smart move. But the thing is like there was so much psychology behind him keeping it for that eight shows or those 8 matches, because there was like a prophecy that he said prior to him winning the TNT Championship, and it was like it alluded to something like on the 8th night I'm gonna lose or something like that. So Maxine's mic skills did improve. We covered that last week.
1,000%.
Yes. Yeah.
That promo that she cut was very impressive.
Yeah. So like you said, Chris, I putting him up against Otis, I think, was not the smartest move, but who else can you put a boulder up against?
I mean, if the plan, I'm assuming, is to make him a believable mid-card guy, I would think Otis is the last person you put him in the fucking ring with.
I agree with, but who else on that roster is built?
Finn Balor could be his fucking debut. I mean, he doesn't have momentum. You can put him in the ring with literally anybody else.
But Finn's already tied up in a...
I know. I'm just throwing a name out there. Fuck. Have JD job to him. Have Carlito job to him.
Yeah. But if you're trying to build him up as a heel, you don't want to put him up against you. So I get where you're coming from, but I think like I think what they're trying to do is see how he responds to bigger men. So they're putting him up against another bigger man, and they don't have any other bigger men. They got Otis on Raw. They have the Viking Raiders. They don't have anybody else, or the War Raiders. They don't have anybody else that is his stature that can show how he can work, right? And that's like Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, they put him up against Seth. That was the only small guy that he worked with, right? So the rest of the guys were monsters that he went up against. And so like doing that, and we'll talk about the other debut we had, that's kind of like the same in the same length. And I get where you're coming from, man. Like you want somebody credible that he's going to go against, right? That's believable. But then again, like he's got to be able to work with bigger guys. And I think in the past, he didn't work with bigger guys. So maybe this is their opportunity for them to see how he works with a bigger guy. Who knows?
He's worked against Big Show. He's worked against Mark Henry.
Yeah, you're right. So next we had Stephanie Bakir. Kyle, I'm all right. Is Bronson Reed still with the new bloodline, or was that was a temporary thing? He's injured now.
Yeah,
temporary. He's injured now. He has done things where he teased at a match with Jacob. He also teased with joining Seth's faction. Who knows? But anyways, so we had Stephanie Bakir versus Ivy Nile. Really, really solid match.
Great match.
Again, Stephanie Bakir is just fucking great.
Shout out to Ivy, man. Ivy is just such a great fucking seller.
Yeah. Absolutely. The next segment had Pat McAfee addressing Gunther. They took the brakes off and the filter off of Pat McAfee, and they let the fuck word fly, with the exception of it being bleeped out. Which, if it's on Netflix, I feel like they shouldn't. right?
Yeah.
But anyways, they let it go. And Pat McAfee challenged Gunther to a match. Nick Aldis was covering in for Adam Pearce, and he came out and he said, "Look, I knew you were going to do this, so I've already talked to the higher ups, and they said no." And he said, I'll lift his suspension for Backlash." So now we're getting Pat McAfee versus Gunther at Backlash.
Yep.
I have no problem with Pat McAfee in the ring. I think he's great.
Here's the best thing about Pat McAfee, man. He never has a filter. He never has changed on anything that he says or does. So that promo, hearing how passionate he was about wrestling and just being there as a whole. And one thing I want to address is the whole outrage of this match happening, right? Nobody had an outrage when he faced Adam Cole, who was at the height of his career in NXT. Not one person complained about that. Not one.
No.
But all of a sudden, because Jey Uso went over Gunther, and Gunther eviscerated Pat McAfee, we're just going to pretend that Pat McAfee isn't athletically gifted enough to be in the ring?
Not to mention he was. Not to mention he. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. No, I mean, not to mention, man, he had matches with Corbin at SummerSlam. He had that Austin Theory match. Both were really good, right? There was no problem there, but because he's going against Gunther, it's fake outrage, man. To be honest, but some of the.
I just feel like when it comes to this community as a whole, so many of these wrestlers eat so much shit for no reason. So many of these on-air talents eat so much shit for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Some of the top takeaways, well, there's really only one. I think the line that stuck out the most to me was Pat McAfee said, to Michael Cole, "I'll be loyal until I'm in the soil." Right? And that shows like his true friendship with him, like outside of WWE and like, and so it was really cool. That promo was great. All right, next I think it's the closing segment. It was the closing segment. Sammy came out and Seth came out and Sammy pretty much said, "Fuck yourself. You gaslit me as a friend to believe that this is best for me, and I've always been in the face of adversity, and this is going to be no different." And Seth is like, "I'm sorry for what happens next," and turns his back, and Braun comes out. And Braun decimated Sammy. Like, it was a match, but Braun fucking decimated Sammy. They had to stop him.
Here's my question. Should Braun have bumped at all for Sammy? Because I don't think he should have bumped at all for him.
No.
Maybe just like punches, but not like, bumps. Yeah.
No, because it feels like this is a rebirth of a new Braun Breaker, right? Mm-hmm. Where he's not pandering to people. He's just out there doing his thing, beating the shit out of people. Hopefully the OG Bloodline gets now. I'm done with the Bloodline. I'm done with the Bloodline.
So am I. I was just going to say that. I have little to no interest in seeing Roman and the Bloodline on top for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, Seth, how many times did Sammy get speared? 4, 5?
Like 4 or 5 times, yeah.
4, yeah. And then they roll, like, there was medical staff there. Braun speared Sammy, got him back in the ring, and he was about to go. I don't know what he was going to do. I don't know if he was going to do a Steiner recliner. I thought he was going to go do a Steiner recliner. Seth came in and pushed him in the corner, and he said, "There is times where we show people restraint that deserve our respect, and this is not one of those times." And then he fucking let him go again, and he fucking stomped the dog shit out of Sammy. I don't think I've ever seen. Will says Bloodline is for life. God, I hope not. So he stomped the absolute dog shit out of Sammy, and I haven't seen a stomp like that since he stomped Roman fucking 10 years ago. Like that was pure hate. Yeah, and so it was great. And now the next question is, who do they put in this faction with? Because JR, you're here now. I know Chris and I talked last week. Who is your opinion that they add another member in?
It's hard to tell at this point here. I mean, do you add someone from the roster, or do you add like someone that's coming in, like a certain Cobb? I don't know, maybe like as an extra piece of muscle, or do you add like a kind of like a wild card in this case here? Like we're going to talk about Dark State later on. We have a wild card in Sugars there, who is like essentially the wild card in this case here, because you have the muscle, you've got the visionary, you've got the wise man. You need like a wild card in that team.
Now we
there.
need somebody
People
who's
say
like a Dean Ambrose type.
I wouldn't say that, but
Well, I'm talking about like the unhinged mentality. Like you don't know.
okay, fair enough.
But
Yeah,
there's only one person on the roster that's unhinged, and he's currently in a storyline on SmackDown.
Who?
Jacob Fatu. Will says, honestly, wouldn't mind Austin Theory getting a push in the group. I thought the same thing, and I said that.
But the way that they're doing, they're going with Austin Theory here is that it seems like he's going to be a babyface right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what
after this breakup with Grayson Waller. I don't think you want to, put Austin Theory in this position here, because I think right now with Austin Theory, it seems like he's on the verge of becoming a pretty big babyface right now. Once he breaks up with Grayson Waller in this instance here. So, I mean, I may be wrong, but yeah.
Somebody had pointed that out to me and said he's going face, baby face, and I was like, yeah, and so was Randy Orton when he was joining Evolution, right? Like he was the brash, arrogant face where he wasn't necessarily heel.
The Mark
He's not
Jindrak
Randy Orton.
and the Mark Jindrak thing didn't work out, so Randy was that next pick.
Yeah, that is very true. Also, Grayson Waller turns on Austin and joins the group.
See, but here's the thing about Grayson, though. I think having somebody like Paul Heyman in the group, Grayson would be such a waste to have in there because he's a fucking talker. Seth is the focal point, quote unquote, of the group. So why would you put somebody who, I don't want to say could overshadow Seth? Because obviously I don't think that would happen. But you don't just have Grayson just in the group just because. That's my only thing with that theory. Like, no pun intended, Austin Theory. I would love to see Austin Theory in a prominent role because I feel like Triple H has been dicking him around since he took over. Obviously they got the WrestleMania win 2 years ago. But ever since then, I think they have either been oddly teasing this turn and just not executing anything anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's been too long with this tease with those two. Yeah.
What if, and this is just throwing a name out there, what if Jimmy Uso joined up with Seth and Braun?
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Jimmy's a wild card.
He is. Absolutely.
I would not be mad at that. That would sound interesting. Yeah.
I'd say Austin has more of a main eventer.
Yeah, more or less Theory than Grayson, because like Grayson is kind of like that mid card status for me, as a prominent talker, and then to me, I can't see him as like a world. I can't see a new world champion Grayson Waller.
The good thing about Austin Theory is he's still really young. And him being in the role that he's in, I would love to see him on TV more. I would love to see him get more opportunities than what he's getting right now. But Grayson has that ceiling by proxy, like just shoved over his head.
Yeah, absolutely. Only time will tell what they do with these younger men and women. But I thought Raw was pretty fucking good. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yep.
That last spear that Braun hit on Sammy was pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
And Michael Cole with the perfect call too. Get out of the way! Boom!
Yeah, it's like Jamie. Wait, you're gonna spear Jamie Noble? Don't do it.
Don't do it. All right, so this is the part of the show that I jump out of. It's covering NXT, and Chris and Jay are going to take over. I will be back.
All right.
NXT.
So NXT I thought was a pretty decent show this week. Started off with Joe Hendry, basically talking about Trick Williams attacking him at TNA. I believe the pay-per-view was Sacrifice, right?
Rebellion, yeah.
Rebellion, sorry. Trick Williams attacked Joe Hendry after his match. So Joe Hendry showed up on NXT to call him out. He didn't show up, of course, and out comes Dark State to beat the ever-living shit out of Joe Hendry.
I don't think I've ever commented about that. Powerbomb is freaking creative, man. That slingshot powerbomb.
The tossing powerbomb is so fucking sick.
Yeah, I can't remember who does the tossing. I don't want to say who.
I'm pretty sure it's Dion.
That's me, Dion. Okay, yeah, kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Because I think Osiris is the one that drills him.
He has, Osiris has to be the one at the end there, for that. So that makes sense.
But that wasn't the best part of this segment. The best part of this segment happened off camera. It happened on social media when Sugars decided to take to social media and say viral moment head ass and says just talking shit about Joe Hendry. Sugars is a fucking star, bro.
Are in the making. Yeah.
If
Cedric Alexander
cards right with the system. I truly think that man can be a force in that company.
He is, yeah. Like that guy, for the short time that I've seen him, I'm like, first off, I thought, dude, do we have a buff Cedric Alexander there? It's like when you pointed it out, I'm like, damn, that's true. But no, but Sugars, man, has been a diamond in the rough there. Like, I didn't see him too much in. Was he on Level Up a couple times? I'm not 100% sure.
I think like once or twice.
Okay. But anyways,
but he's great.
He's great, and I can't wait to see more of him. Yeah, he's a stud there. Absolutely.
I think surprisingly Dion shows out really well too. I think So funny thing about that, now that he has cut that promo before Dark State was created and saying that he was going to come after Oba, bro, it makes his character so much more brilliant because he was like that super villain loading.
That's
he
right.
Was like, I'm trying to think of. He was basically like Harvey Two-Face before he became Two-Face.
That's right.
Like riding the lines. So then we had Io Sky come backstage with Ava, and basically Jordan Grace tells Io that she's gonna be a tag team partner. She's gonna face Roxanne and Julia. Bro, fucking shout out to Io Sky, man. She is phenomenal.
She got her own meme now. It's just awesome.
It's amazing. Then we had a backstage segment with Carmen Petrovic giving Gigi and Tatum some encouragement after suffering 2 losses, last 2 titles. And then Ashanti, the Adonis, tells Carmen she shouldn't be worried about losers and got her a match with Sol Ruca for the title. Then we had Ricky Saints and Lexis King for the first match of the night, and that was for the North American Championship. I'm going to say this about Lexis King, man. Ricky obviously retained. We had a backstage segment where he was, moping over his loss and holding on to his cane. He's got so many shades of unhinged Pillman in him. I fucking cannot wait to see that man fall apart because I think Lexis's character development is just top tier right now. He's so good at what he does.
Lexis has got a gun. Lexis has got a gun.
Then we had a really good backstage segment with Sean Spears talking to the Calling, basically saying that he's there for them and rooting for all their success.
Yeah,
I
am invested
impressed
in this faction.
Yes,
it makes 100% sense to me. I mean, I don't know for many, but for me, it makes sense because it's basically the master letting his children do their work while he observes and makes sure that, they're successful and not him. It's not about him. It's about them.
Yeah.
In this case.
And Will, with your comment, I really loved his introduction into NXT because I really like that he's like, I'm not my father's son. And I love that they played into that, and I love the slow unhinge into the Pillman character. So I think it's pretty damn great to see. Then we had a Tony D and Stack's segment, it was okay. It wasn't as good as last week, but I thought it was really good.
Yeah, not too bad. I enjoyed it. Between the two.
I love that Stax is kind of like saying you don't know who your family is and you don't know who you can trust anymore, and he gets attacked. Tony, I think, is in a really odd position with the company right now. I don't know what the direction is for him after this. Because main roster and his character right now, I don't know. It's very. Do y'all think Tony D'Angelo family are going in the same route as Chase U? What do you mean, like splitting up, or
like being stale?
They're basically already split up.
Yeah.
Besides Rizzo, of course.
Yeah. It's that's the thing. It's because Tony D, if I'm not mistaken, he's the last remnants of 2.0, if I'm not mistaken, right now, currently on that roster there. And he's like been there one of the longest times. So it's like you would imagine he would have been called up by now. But then you're right. His character has a ceiling if he went to the main roster, because it's like you can only do so much with him, in this case here, with the dissolving. Yeah, it seems like it is, Will. Yeah, so it's like that's what I'm worried about with Tony is like, what is the next step with Tony at this point here after this Stacks rivalry here? So
and I think that's the biggest challenge of the 2.0 gimmicks outside of Braun and Grayson is there's no room to breathe outside of their character, and they limit themselves to a point where you got guys like Luca. Luca's another one who I think is insanely talented, but he's a fucking lawyer character.
This comment right here, Tony can form a new FBI. Hear me out. They just signed fucking God damn it. Big Vito. WWE just signed Big Vito to a contract.
It better be a Legends contract, because
no, he won't be performing. He'll be like a Don or like a Godfather kind of deal. He just put that shit up on TikTok. So
okay, fine. That's fine. All
right, I'm out.
I just feel like when you have a character like him or Luca who's a lawyer, and you bring that to the main roster, at least with Luca, he can work for a little bit with Chelsea, and with other talent on like bullshit. Like he's
basically David. He's basically David Otunga. So.
Right, exactly. But again, that has a timeline of how long you can do that character for.
Exactly.
And same with Tony. Tony, I feel, lost it from me when he won the North American title a second time from Oba.
Yeah.
Oba, I feel like, kind of stepped into that Gunther role where he was never not going to have a title after he dropped the title.
Yeah.
But Tony, I'm unsure about his future. Stacks, you can entertain him in the tag team division or entertain him in a mid-card division. He has range. But Tony's character is still so fucking corny.
Yeah. And
while we had that segment last week that was fucking incredible, that we have this week, we're just like, okay, we're not going up. We're just staying flatline.
Sure.
But yeah, so it looks like we're eventually setting up for a.
I don't think he's working behind the scenes. I don't think Otunga is working behind the scenes, to be honest. But he's probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's still with the company or not.
Let's see.
Then we had Metaphor. Oh God, Metaphor reunion that hits different now, and we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Talk about it after. Yeah, let's just
Metaphor completely split up. Oro was supposed to be the main man of Evolve, and Lash and Jakara were supposed to be taking over the women's division on their own, and Noam is on his own too. Yeah, this segment hits a lot differently because it was like Boy Meets World when Mr. Phoenix is by the class kind of thing.
Shit, I didn't even think. Oh man, you had to pull that one. Jeez.
Yeah, that's exactly how that feels.
Or for me, it's like when Will said goodbye to the whole family in Fresh Prince. When they had to leave. So, yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Heartbreaking to say the least.
It was very heartbreaking. Yeah.
I don't like. I think it's nasty work what they did, in my opinion. I don't like to join outrage when it comes to stuff like this, but
No.
I genuinely think this is nasty work.
Yeah, but at least my feeling was, though, I just thought of it. Someone pointed out my thought process is that I think maybe Sean knew about these two being released
100%.
there, and he wanted to at least give them this final segment to say goodbye. At least at least kudos to that. But I mean, it is very heartbreaking when you think about it now, because it's like that's two pretty decent talents that are being released there in Oro and Jakara.
Oro, I kind of saw the writing on the wall for the longest
But
time.
the Evolve, sure.
I truly think he was just not growing as a character. They tried with that father storyline with Lexus, and it just didn't work. More or less the same with Riley. I feel like they couldn't do shit with Riley either.
Yeah.
Second match of the night, we had Sol Ruka and Carmen. Had a nice little ass slap from Zarya to Sol Ruka. It's a pretty decent match. I fucking love that Soul Snatcher finish. I think it's probably top 3 finishers right now, next to Bronze Spear.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sol Ruka, of course, wins that match. Then we had a nice little backstage segment with Roxanne and Julia, and Julia says that Roxanne is a great champion, and the Prodigy and Beautiful Madness together can be unstoppable. I think Julia's English has severely improved since she's been signed to NXT.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think the heel turn is also a really good call.
Very good call. Yeah.
I think they kind of saw, oh shit, we signed Stephanie, and Julia's supposed to be the face of our brand, but Stephanie just complete tidal wave as a baby face. So
So no problem turning Julia heel, and it's working right now. So I have no problem with that.
We have a number 1 contender battle royal for next week, which again, when we talk about the releases later on, we're going to talk about just some of the names that are in here that are not going to be there. Then we had Trick Williams come out and talk about Joe Hendry. And then Ava's like, you can earn your spot in the battle royal next week, but you're not going to just demand a title match. Then we had a backstage segment with Oba Femi saying that Trick Williams is a grown child. If he can survive the battle royal, he'll face him at Battleground. Then we had, I'm gonna actually vent about this match, because this match actually pissed me off, because remember we talked about Vegas and how good Hank and Tank were, and they weren't carried, they actually performed.
They took 2 steps back.
This match, some fucking how, we went completely the opposite direction. And you can visibly see Inamura and Briggs holding back on so much of what they were doing. I understand we're in development. I get it. But why would you put a title on 2 guys who are working like they are working? Like, there was a spot where I think Inamura was doing like a senton on top of, I think it was Tank, and he did it really fucking slow. And I'm like, that's a little weird. Then I saw a couple other spots where it was just really slow and just kind of making sure that they can keep up. And then they did the finish. We're going to knock out our partner and get a fucking pinfall that way. Again, I don't hate them as much as I did when they were going into Vegas.
Sure.
But I think Sean really needs to look in the mirror on this booking decision and having them as a champion. Drop it at Battleground or drop it on a casual fucking Tuesday, because I don't think they're ready for that spot. I really don't.
Well, I mean, they're going up against a certain team we'll talk about later. So, I mean, the seeds are being planted there. It seems like this is a transitional to that team. So it's like, I know. It's a little rough seeing a team that you put the titles on and we're like, okay, why are we going backwards now with this team? It's like,
Yeah. And you know what it kind of feels like? It kind of feels like how the Good Brothers were working with 90% of that tag division. Very slow, making sure people are getting spots in and making sure that the match was safe. You could be safe, but don't fucking work like you're sitting in the PC, because that's how they were fucking working.
Yep.
Then we had a backstage segment with NQCC and Miles Bourne talking about the Battle Royal contender. It's been kind of worrying that Charlie Dempsey hasn't been on TV. I think the last 2 weeks he hasn't been on TV. We'll see. But
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Charlie. I'm not worried about Charlie. I think it's either he's nursing an injury or it's actually he's just not there right now. Just maybe he's under assignment or something like that. Yeah.
But it looks like everybody in NQC's is going to be part of the Battle Royal. Then they finally aired the Dark State promo.
Okay.
And that was, like I said, man, Sugars is just so damn good. When he said viral moment head ass, I was just like, bro, this guy got it. He has it. I love it. Give that man the microphone more often. I'm here for it.
Just don't be like Keanu Carver.
Oh my God. We'll talk about that after the end of the show.
Talk after. Yeah. We'll talk about it after. Yeah.
Then we had a segment where Chase U is back. This kind of rubbed me the wrong way too.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Because it feels like we're going backwards again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what Andre's role is on that roster right now. Again, kind of like Tony D. It's literally y'all think Dark State is what Retribution was supposed to be. I think kind of going back to the Messiah character. I think Retribution was really hard to gauge on how the fans would have reacted. I don't think it would have been a good reaction regardless. But the way that Retribution came in was great. They fucking tore apart the ring, kind of like Nexus did. They destroyed everything, the chainsaw nonsense and whatnot. But the problem with Retribution is they jobbed out to the Hurt Business almost immediately.
Yeah.
And literally did nothing after that. They got completely shit on every single week.
Slapjack
and T-Bar and fucking Mercedes Martinez.
Teabag. I called him Teabag, but
Teabag, yeah. But yeah, I think Dark State is kind of in a lot better of a position because it kind of feels like a Shield hybrid in a sense. Everybody can talk, and they're using social media to their benefit. So I don't think they're like anybody. I think they're their own group right now. But yeah, Chase U came back, and it looks like we're gonna have a Kalani Jordan and Zarya match next week. Zarya is being there's such a crappy feud. Yeah, well, it's Vince McMahon. He doesn't know how to fucking book.
Shit.
But it looks like Zarya is gonna be the guardian angel for Soruka for now. Until she turns her back and annihilates her, which I'm assuming is coming.
And that we'll have a good match between Zarya and Sol Ruka, which is fine. Yeah.
Then we had Hank and Tank with Joe Hendry, and I'm going to fucking put my head through a wall because Joe Hendry is going to get... I don't even know what the point of this fucking six-man tag is. Anyway... It's Joe Hendry and Hank and Tank versus Dark State, which whatever.
Whatever. Hank Walker will get pinned. We know that. So there you go. Let's end it there.
Then we had Io Sky and Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez and Julia, and I just want to give them a fucking applause because man, all four women absolutely killed it. Jordan Grace is an interesting wrestler to watch. Yeah. I think. When she first came in, I was unsure how she would match up with 90% at roster because she's a bigger girl muscle-wise.
Yeah.
She had some spots in there with Julia where it's like, holy fuck, like she's really strong. It's scary. Mm-hmm. There was a spot where I think she had one person in a suplex, and then the other person, she was doing like a fall away slam, or no, like a German suplex, and she hit it flawlessly. I'm like, bro, Jordan Grace is fucking incredible to watch.
She is. Absolutely.
Shout out to Julia too. I love the bumps that Julia was doing for Io Sky. Io fucking Sky, bro. My God. My fucking gosh. She was so over with that crowd. She had the fans doing her little emote.
Yep.
I think Io has finally reached that level where she's undeniable.
And this is why a lot of them got released, because everyone will surpass them.
Exactly. And
there's my rant.
There is a comment I want to add in there when we do talk about that. Especially the specific names that were released. I feel Jordan Grace is a special type of wrestler that is a beast, but won't be a ridiculous squash match. Yeah, and that's the great thing about WWE right now is we're not really doing too many squash matches anymore. We're not seeing local talent get fed to wrestlers like they did with Wardlow for 7 months, and then a temporary push, and then local talent again for another 7 months. But yeah, Jordan Grace is incredible, man. I think we're in a very special time with the women's division. Everybody on NXT, outside of the ones that got released, unfortunately, are very, very good. And I think that's why what happened yesterday happened, because there are so many talents that are just leveling up, pun intended.
Yep.
Then we had a backstage segment after Io Sky pinned Roxanne with Stephanie Vicur. And I believe there is a contenders match, right?
Yep, with Jordan Grace and Julia. Yep.
Yeah, Jordan Grace and Julia are going to have a match next week, which, holy shit. That should be a barn burner. But yeah, NXT was a good show. We whooped AEW's ass again, so it feels good chat.
Yep, there you go. Exactly.
Jesus. All right, JR, go ahead and take us away for Smackdown.
For Smackdown, yes, from the from the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. Never been to Iowa before. Hopefully, I get to visit someday. We had Damian Priest coming in. He got to a shoving contest with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa on the backstage, which I found pretty nice, nice way to start there. And then LA Knight just walked past him, and then they had a little nice back and forth between LA Knight and Damian Priest there, kind of one-upping each other a bit there, which I found pretty hilarious between the two, which led to their opening match, which apparently was supposed to be the main event, but got pushed to the first match. So we had LA Knight versus Damian Priest there. Really good stuff between these two. Very good opening match. Got "This Is Awesome" chants twice from the crowd, which is great to see. And but of course we had the little the buzzkill in Solo Sikoa there interfering. He attacked Damian Priest, and Damian Priest got the win by disqualification. Then LA Knight came in, and then LA Knight wanted to attack Solo, and then Jacob Fatu just basically wrecked the whole lot of them. So there we go. We have our U.S. title program continuing there with those individuals. We then had Byron Saxton talking with Fraxium, and basically they explained how they're excited to face Pretty Deadly tonight. So it was good to see a little promo between Fraxium there. And then we had the tag match between Fraxium and Pretty Deadly, which had a little bit of unfortunate stuff happen for one Elton Prince. There was a spot there where Nathan Frazier, I believe he did a shooting star press, and his knees hit his face. And he literally, I think he either got a concussion. He may have gotten a concussion because I think he was out of the loop. Because literally, they did the pinfall, and he didn't even kick out. They had to kind of, half-ass it and make it look like Elton Prince kicked out. But apparently, he got busted open big, because I think I saw blood coming out of his mouth.
I think he broke his nose.
Okay, that would make 100% sense there. Okay, so they literally had to bring out Elton Prince out of the match immediately, and then Kit Wilson had to literally carry the team there. But Fraxium got another win there. So it's not a really big gripe, but it kind of worries me that Nathan Frazier's speed, it may be a detriment to some of the
100%.
talent here.
100%.
Yeah. And I think he needs to kind of learn to slow it down. He's not in NXT anymore where he can go 100 miles an hour now. He needs to learn, much like with Ray Phoenix, they need to learn to kind of adapt to a point where you won't see these type of things happening in this case.
And the good thing about that too, man, is him being directly under Triple H's guidance. I think Triple H can be like, listen, man, like you're a great worker, but you just got to slow it down just a little bit. And on top of that, now that he's on the main roster, he can have how to control his speed like Braun. Well, the difference with Braun and fucking Nathan is like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Once Nathan gets going, that motherfucker doesn't have brakes. Forget brakes. Exactly. That man just needs to run into a wall, and that's the problem.
That man needs to learn to retard his strength or his speed.
Yeah.
But I think with being on the main roster and having somebody like Seth Rollins who can be like, listen, man, like you're great, you're one of my best students or whatever, but just got to hit the brakes a little bit. Because if you remember, Seth used to work like that too. And then what happened? Broke John Cena's nose, he destroyed his leg, and now he doesn't work like that anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's same with like if we can go back to like Eddie, like someone like Eddie Edwards in TNA, he was going at full speed, and then one unfortunate hit from Sami Callihan with a bat to his head, he had to literally slow down. So it's like it's funny we say slow down, and Nathan Frazier's theme. What's the first thing that it says in his theme?
Never slow down.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Mama Michelle.
How you doing?
Hey, Michelle.
All right. Yeah, but they got a lot of work to do. So I'm sure that they'll be able to turn it around there. I mean, it's Fraxium. I have full confidence in those guys there. We then see B-Fab and Michin talking with Nick Aldis, talking about trying to get into the tag division, while Raquel and, as we said, Liv Morgan is going to be off for a little bit because she's filming a movie there. And then we had the Secret Her service come in, also with Chelsea Green looking like her dog died in this case here, wearing all black and all, and basically saying that she wanted a title shot. And Nick is like, no, I'm not going to do that for you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have her fight Zelina, and if she wins, she gets a title shot, which Chelsea then goes. She nearly faints over, and the Secret Her service had to pick her up. So Chelsea once again showing why she is one of the she's always a trip. Yeah, she's showing why she's one of the best stars out there, one of the best re-signings from Triple H there. And like she said in her interview with Chris Van Vliet, she just wants to utilize her minutes, and there you go. That's a good soldier there with Miss Chelsea there. We get a John Cena Randy Orton video package here, just highlighting another match from previously. I believe they highlighted the 2013 TLC match they did for the unification of the titles at that point. And then we had a little segment here with Nia Jax. Basically, she won in her match with Tiffany again. We then had a Naomi promo, which I know we were all not really a big fan of. For the most part.
It was pretty fucking bad.
It was a little bad, yeah. It's a little uncharacteristic for Naomi because we know she can do better in this case here. I know I did like the fact I did like when she got interrupted by that guy in the crowd. He goes, "Shut up!" It's like she wanted to throw fists with him. That was
whenever she said, "I'm gonna push you on a car and then push you under a car," I'm like, "Yikes, this is fucking bad."
Yikes! That's like, yeah, that was a little one there. Yeah. She talked about how she got the unprettier. That was a good one from for Chris there. that was a good part there. So then Jay Cargill comes in and starts a brawl, and then Nick Aldis goes, "We're gonna have a tag team match, player." So we're gonna have a tag team match at the end of the show later on with those four. We then had Carmelo Hayes talking with The Miz, talking about the people disrespecting his name and legacy. Miz takes a little pot shot at AEW there, which he really didn't need to. And of course, with everything going on there, I think he kind of figured that line was kind of corny. But the match itself, his match with a returning Aleister Black there, and a shout out to the folk. I'm sure it's Def Rebel that did it, but they remixed his theme song in a very, very good way. I think they may have.
I think they tweaked it just a little bit.
Just a slight bit, but it works, and I just love the fact that he has his entrance still, which is great and all. But yeah, really good professional match between these two from a veteran. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Instead of just don't put the sound effect like you did when McMahon was there. Jeez. Yeah, that match between him and Aleister, just shows you the professionalism of the Miz and just how good Aleister Black really is.
That spot where Miz was doing the it kicks. And Aleister just kind of looks at it. He's like, "Bro, you gotta be fucking kidding me!"
And then he started laughing at him. That shit was funny.
Yeah,
Aleister is really good with the facial expressions.
Yeah,
I think he's one of those guys who, if Triple H uses him right, and I'm gonna say that because Triple H is kind of walking that fucking line lately. If he uses him right, Aleister could be a very, very good hand on that roster.
You're right, man. Because when he took that bump outside of the ring, like when Miz pulled him down, he hit his chest on the apron, dude. Like he was sitting there, and you could hear him. Even when they went to picture, he was like, "Ah!" Like, dog, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, but Aleister Black with the I love the Black Mask. Man. I don't know about you guys, but like
I love the fucking knee strike too. The fucking what is it, like a 360 knee strike? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but Aleister Black with the massive Black Mask of Miz, who sold it like a champ as always. And then he got the pin, and then Carmelo Hayes tried to come in, but Aleister Black sensed him, and then we had a stare off between essentially Black and Gold versus 2.0 there. It's like, I'll give you all the money you want. Just give me that match between
that face off was fucking great. I can't wait.
That was awesome. That's going to be a good match between Mr. Aleister Black there.
You know what's another match I can't wait to happen since they're on the same roster? Aleister and fucking Andrade again.
Woo! Yes. Conflict of interest between for Andrade and Aleister Black there. Tranquilo.
Look. If they shake up, if they do another draft and Cross gets on the same roster as Aleister Black, take all my money.
Cross and Aleister, I don't know. I feel like that's such a weird clash of styles.
It's not though, because they're both strikers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apparently, he got a ruptured eardrum from the match against AJ Styles, which wow, that's
makes sense. He didn't protect himself.
Well, yeah, that's weird, man. But
he did it for a reason.
Yeah. So, and then we had Santos Escobar. Thank God you didn't get cut. You're still alive. Well, obviously now you've got a big program coming up. So good for you. And obviously, I think. Okay, you know what? I'll bring my point up after on when we do the releases there. But Santos Escobar, he basically berates Rey Fénix for making luchas look bad against El Grande Americano, which then will basically lead to a match between him and Santos, which is great to see. Pat McAfee is shown he'll be a special guest on Stephanie's Places there on ESPN this Wednesday. And then we had our fourth match here. It's always funny. I find it funny that Zelina Vega comes right after her husband, which is it's quite funny to hear. Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for Zelina a little bit. That crowd, just every crowd, I feel like doesn't rock with her until after the end of the match. Like her entrances get almost no reaction.
Because the theme song's like very
it's ass. It's fucking ass.
Yeah, you need something to pump up the crowd in this case, not like a Cardi B kind of thing. It's like unless you have like a crowd.
Just have her come out to fake CEO chant. That's fine.
Fair enough. That's fair. Yeah. Okay. So, but we had Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven in a match here. Piper Niven continues to impress as always. Good stuff there between the two. Chelsea Green tried to interfere, backfires, and Zelina Vega gets another win over the secret her service there. So I guess it essentially still continues the program with her and Chelsea, which is not a big issue there.
They will never stop catching strays, dog. No mercy. I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Will. Yeah, they will always get the bullets. They will always get the bullets there. Yeah, Zelina gets the win there. And then Nick Aldis informs Solo and Jacob Fatu that the United States Championship will be in a fatal four-way match between Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and LA Knight. Jacob has no problem with that because at the end of the day, he's going to dog walk their asses. Jacob is all gas, no brakes. Jacob asks Solo if he knows what he means. Jacob leaves the office. Nick points out that Solo's mouth is indirectly trying to cost Jacob the U.S. Championship. So
I got to say something about Jacob, man.
Yep, go ahead.
Jacob is a fantastic wrestler. He has all the charisma in the fucking world. But he's got to do something different on his promos. Because, saying the same thing every time he's given a microphone just really makes me want to mute the goddamn TV. He's great. He's great. Do not get me wrong. He's great.
Yeah. I hate you, Solo.
Hate you, Solo.
But hearing him say the all gas, no brakes thing every fucking week, it's all right, dog. We need something different. Please.
That's fine. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Remember the underline for everybody that's watching. We like Jacob. We love Jacob Fatu.
Yes.
You just need a little bit different, something different. That's all. That's all. A little tweak. That's all. We then had a very solid Randy Orton promo, basically talking to John Cena. I'm gonna read this promo because this was freaking outstanding what he did there. So I know we're 2 hours in, but Des Moines, welcome to Friday Night Smackdown. John Cena, while the world couldn't see him, I could. It took about 20 years for all of you to realize exactly what kind of man he is, but I knew from day one. He's arrogant, selfish, he's an entitled brat that gets whatever he wants, and he's the ultimate shiny new toy to play with by the ultimate puppet master. I gotta hand it to you, man. You're smart. Took advantage of the PG era, and boy, did you ever take advantage of the PG era. You're willing and, quite frankly, you're eager to be real-life, walking, talking cartoon character, while I, on the other hand, did everything I could to be the true to who I am. He didn't care about the boys at the back. He didn't care about all of you. All that he cared about was him. That he cares about is his bottom line, which has brought him fame, has brought him fortune, has brought him right into the mainstream. It's enabled John Cena to make sure that every single month he has a brand new colored T-shirt to come out to the merch stands, along with a headband, hat, neckband, wristbands, armbands, jorts. I mean, I think there's sneakers, dog tags, that little towel that says "Never Give Up." Anything he can squeeze his name onto, he's going to put it on the merch stand. So all you kids, go and grab them. He wants to make sure that you love him more than you already do. But speaking of the kids, last week on Smackdown, John Cena said that the reason why he never had kids, the reason why he never raised a family himself, was because he was too busy raising all of your kids. John, the only thing that you have raised is the price of your merchandise, which the actual parents have to work a double shift to be able to afford it all. Selling your soul isn't exactly a new concept, is it, John? You've been doing that for 20 years. Hustle, loyalty, respect, am I right? Listen, I'll give him the hustle all day, but the loyalty, the respect, what happened to the loyalty and respect, John? Let me be clear why I'm asking specifically about the loyalty and respect, because last week you stood in the ring, looked me dead in the eye, and said you were going to erase the Orton name from the history books. You said as you stood in this ring, you looked me square in the eyes that you were going to erase everything that my family did in this industry. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're not. You will not, over my dead freaking body. You say that you were the last real champion. Nah. John, you are the latest legend that I've had to put down, and I'm gonna do so a week from tomorrow at Backlash in front of my wife, my family, my kids, my friends, in front of the future generations of Ortons, in front of the future Orton legacy. I'm gonna punt kick you so hard, and that Lego-shaped head is gonna fly right off your shoulders and through the gateway arch. But not before I drop your ass with the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment: RKO.
God damn it,
man! Randy Orton, man, what?
I have I swear to God, if they do this, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind in the chat. I'm telling you this right now.
The no way out
Yes.
finish with the
If John Cena smacks the referee and calls him the DQ dog, I'm fucking losing my mind. I think that would be genius.
They may do so. Yeah, they may do so. You never know.
John Cena needs to go on a full blown fuck over every finish, fucking kill streak. I don't care.
Look.
Yeah.
Will's looking forward to Randy kicking John Cena's dad in the head again.
He could.
What if Cena does the AA to Randy's wife?
Please, please. That'd be so fucking funny.
Dude, handcuffed Randy to the ropes and RKO's his, or he does the AA to his wife. Or he does the fucking STF to his wife.
No, don't do that. No. Just do the AA and then just kiss him like Randy Orton did to Stephanie.
If he puts his wife in the STF, those tickle bitties might fall out. Don't do that.
Yeah,
it's not the AA, it's the FU, okay?
Yeah,
Ruck fools, okay?
Yeah,
Ruck fools.
That's exactly. Nia Jax tells Naomi she's going to put everything she said out there to the side. Her focus is on Two-Face Tiffany and getting back her women's championship. Nia says that Naomi has to stay out of her way. Naomi responds by saying, okay, no problem. And then Randy Orton runs into R-Truth in the backstage area. The Truth says that Randy has no chance against his childhood hero, John Cena, at Backlash. Truth is doubling down on his convictions. Jimmy Uso joins the conversation. Jimmy says he'll talk some sense into Truth. Jimmy says that if Truth keeps talking like that, Randy's going to punt Truth's head off his shoulders. Truth is not playing around. John Cena is the last champion, and he'll always have his back. Oh, you don't like it? I like it. It's fine. I mean, what if John Cena beats the crap out of R-Truth? Will you be happy with that?
It needs to happen.
I'm sure it's gonna happen in this case here. Well, I'm sure
it's kind of like when Truth was doing the Judgment Day stuff. It was funny at first, but now it's going like, okay, I'm gonna need Cena to like be a heel and beat the ever living shit out of R-Truth, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it will happen.
Oh, he could beat the shit out of him and said, "I did it for your own good," right? I did it to like gaslight the shit out.
This isn't Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, bro.
John beat the crap out of
little Jimmy, and little Jimmy is dead.
Jesus Christ!
Oh goodness!
Give Truth, dude. And I know this is a little far fetched. Give Truth a fucking championship match at a pay per view just to do it.
Please,
I would be complete. No, I would be on board with it. It would make sense.
No fucking way.
Yeah, yes. Money in the Bank. Give him Money in the Bank. Give him the championship match of Money in the Bank. It doesn't even matter.
I think I would rather put my dick in a fucking blender.
That happened.
I'm just saying, I have no interest in seeing R-Truth in 2025 in a pay-per-view.
Pause. Okay, pause. Let's go to the next match. We have Santos Escobar going up against Rey Fenix there. Good to see Santos back in the ring. We haven't seen him in a minute there, but hey, good stuff between Rey Fenix and Santos Escobar. Yep. Clap. We give a clap on that match there. Rey Fenix keeps improving, adapting to the WWE style there, and and Phoenix hits a Flying Meteora this time for the win here against Santos Escobar. If Money in the Bank was the Royal Rumble, no, I don't think you want to do that there. But
I have actually something really positive to say on Phoenix.
Yeah,
I love that the dude can finish the match in so many different ways. I love that he's showing his versatility in that ring. The one thing I didn't really care for in that match, and I love a good fucking back and forth chop fest when it's done right. I feel like they went a little too long on that, but then Santos like knocked the wind out of that man, and I was like, okay, that fucking slap was really good. I would have loved to see Santos get a little bit more offensive moves in there because I feel like it was more Phoenix showcasing than it was, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, he's a brand new talent. I get it, but I would love to see Santos get more ring time and do a little bit more than what he's been doing. Yeah. Well, no shit, man. I felt that slap too.
Yeah. We then had Byron Saxton having an interview with Tiffany Stratton and Jay Cargo. They bicker about the needing to stay out of their way. Jade reports Tiffany she's having a number one contenders match against Nia Jax next week for the women's championship, which is that's great. Nice to see Nia versus Jade. A little fresh. We got a short one between them previously, so it'd be nice to see a little what the back and forth will be between Jade and Naomi. And Nia. So looking forward to that. And she points out she nearly beat Jade last week, so she had no problem doing that. Toodles. Okay, we got that. Toodles. Yes, that's right. We had a video recap of the TLC match from last week. Since I wasn't here, I got to give my applause there for that match there. Great stuff from all 6 of those guys there. But yeah, the video recap for them. They obviously deserve the night off, the week off in this case here to recover and all that. So, good on them. Yeah, no problem them not being there. So that's fine. And then interesting segment here after that. Andrade comes up and tells Escobar to calm down. He doesn't like the way they're treating Los Garzas. Escobar always talks about legacy, respect, and honor. And Andrade says that Escobar doesn't have respect nor honor. And Escobar storms off with, he basically drags Garza, and then Humberto kind of gives Andrade a nod, but then goes off to with Santos there. So interesting tension there between Legado and Andrade there. So it's like, is he poaching Los Garzas from him? Like, it's interesting there.
And Phoenix still has a hand in there too.
And Phoenix does have an in there too. So it's going to be a very interesting next few weeks there, how they develop that. So good stuff there. We get the announcement that John Cena will be coming back to SmackDown next week. So that's date number 24? 25. Thank you, sir. We'll return to SmackDown next week in Dayton, Ohio. And then Damian Priest and LA Knight will battle Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Which then leads to our main event here, the women's tag match. Tiffany Stratton and Jay Cargo, Nia versus Naomi, and Nia and Jax. That's expected. Good stuff between all 4 of these women here. We get Tiffany Stratton and Jay Cargo getting the win. And then essentially Naomi basically gets that attack on Cargo once again and holds the women's title to end the show. So obviously Naomi is in the title hunt here with Tiffy and Jade and Nia. So I'm guessing it's going to be a fatal 4-way at some point, or maybe a triple threat. I don't know, but hey, whatever. It works. It's fine. SmackDown was decent as always. And yeah.
All right. So we're going to cover the latest news as far as the releases, and I'm going to say before we get into this.
Yes.
Every time that there's somebody that gets released from the company or a batch of releases, there's a lot of fucking outrage online. This person deserves better. Oh, that person deserves better. This, that, and the third. Where was that support for that person when they're in the fucking company? Right? Xia Li is a prime fucking example of that when she got released. When she was on the roster, she got she got crickets on entrance. Nobody reacted to her shit, and they were outraged when she got released. Where was that motherfucking support? And I know like Chris has people that he supported that got released. Same with JR. For me, I mean, where was that fucking support when those people were on the main roster?
Where was that support when Baron Corbin, who has been arguably one of the best fucking workers on that roster for a better part of a decade, where was the support for that man? It was non-fucking existent until they decided to not renew.
Yeah. And as far as the Shotzi thing, it looks like they're not renewing her contract.
Yeah, they're not renewing her contract.
Yeah, which is fun.
The fact, the fact of the matter is I'm going to stay back out of the conversation just simply for the fact that everybody that got released. I mean, if we're talking about Braun Strowman, that man, in his last few matches, it looked like he needed double knee replacement. Right? Like he was in a lot of pain. It's easier for him to be released than to have him sit on the fucking sideline. And that man is just injury prone. We've seen it.
Look what happened when he fucking had that last man standing match against Bronson. Didn't he tear his groin?
He tore his groin. Yeah.
That is
Save
what
us
I'm
both.
going
Yep.
to say. Yeah,
Yep.
next, he's one of Savious
There's
workers.
one.
Look, man, I
Good.
was going to say that is the last person I'm going to comment on as far as these releases, and then I'm going to keep my sentiment. If you're outraged about these people being released, where was the support when they were active?
Exactly.
I want to say this about one specific release, and that's
Yeah.
the very last one that just happened. That was Shotzi Blackheart.
Yep.
The IWC has spent the better part of almost her entire career
Yep.
dog shitting on her.
Yep.
Every chance that they got. Oh, she's not great in the ring. She's horrible on the mic. She cut her hair. She looks ridiculous. Blah, 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 blah. There was never any genuine support for Shotzi.
Nope.
Outside of a handful of fans that actually enjoy her, like myself,
Me too.
and I don't know, and JR and whoever else, Shotzi has one of the biggest hearts for this business.
Yep.
Her sister was battling cancer, and she decided to shave her hair and fucking look the way that she did on television.
Mm-hmm.
Shotzi, in my opinion, is one of the best talents that will probably never make it to the top of any company.
And same
because of
yeah.
how this community treats her.
Right. And then same goes with another one that I kind of pissed off a lot of people about, but I don't care because it's the honest truth here. Dakota Kai. So let's just make this comment about her. Was she a good talent in ring?
Decent.
Above average. Sure. It's fine in this case here. However, how many injuries did she suffer over the two runs that she did? I can list it because I already know. Torn ACL her first year. She was lucky she didn't get hurt up until her first release. Second year, torn ACL again. Torn meniscus the following year, and then a concussion right before she got released. And then she was in the Intercontinental title, whatever. But I don't understand why people would get so upset about this release when we kind of saw the writing on the wall when EO started shining a lot more in this case here. And also, there is a lot of women on that roster that are surpassing a lot of these talents here. Like, I'll just list every talent that got released here. Shayna Baszler, Katana Chance, Caitlin Carter, Jakara Jackson, Danny Palmer, Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade.
Same thing.
Who would you have them replace from the current roster that's literally going leaps and bounds right now in this case here? You can't name anybody. Those talents there, they had their chance, and unfortunately the crowd wasn't into them, and they just couldn't evolve. No pun intended with WWE Evolve in this case here. So I don't understand why this community keeps having to say, oh, they should have given her a chance. No, they gave them a chance. They literally give any women a chance here in the, at least a month or so, or at least a couple of weeks on TV. They're going all, no way. They would be all, oh, shoot. My browser has lost connection. Oh, anyways, hold on. Let me try that again. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Thank you. But yeah, it's like, I don't understand why they keep having to say oh, they deserve better. No, we gave them a chance. They didn't grow with the crowd. They didn't, put themselves out there. And it's unfortunate. And people are going to get better. This is going to happen every year. So
you look at something like Jakara, right? Jakara is another one, a decent talent. But she doesn't get reactions.
That's right.
The reaction is because of Lash Legend, who was the standout between the two. Now, I really don't like playing the blame game on releases. I really don't. But I truly, to the bottom of the pit of my fucking stomach, will forever blame whatever failures Gigi and JC had on NXT on Mandy Rose.
Yep.
They were supposed to get called up to the main roster. And then Mandy got fired.
Yep.
Because they did have a match on the main roster, if you remember, and Gigi got that touch.
Yeah, that's right.
And at some point, people just got to look at the whole spectrum of these talents' careers. Look at Eddie Thorpe. I'm just going to fucking rant on this man for a second. I'm not even going to insert my honest opinion about the man because I fucking don't like him as a person. Yep. But he was not getting reactions. He was not evolving with that roster. Same with Riley Osborne. Riley was doomed from the very beginning. That's why they put him with Chase U. Same with Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson didn't evolve either. Most of those 2.0 guys are pretty much dead on arrival. Outside of Tony D, the 2.0 folks are all gone.
Exactly. And then we just will round up who was released here. You just mentioned Oro Mensah, Riley Osborne, Eddie Thorpe. We also had Javier Bernal, Big Body Javi, and then I kind of was a little shocked on this one, but I get it why they were released here. Gallus, the Coffee Boys, and Wolfgang. They weren't getting reactions as well. I mean, they tried to push. They tried to push these guys as a dominant force there, but it just never seemed to work.
Here's the problem.
And that's go ahead.
Casual fans, non like WWE casual fans, do not give two fucks about pure wrestlers. They proved that with Lance Storm. They proved that with Dean Malenko. They proved that with a lot of guys who are really good wrestlers. Gallus, every single one of those guys are great in that ring. But the problem is, number one, they have accents to where almost nobody could understand them on the microphone, and that's not a shot at them. I love Gallus.
No.
But they don't translate well to an American audience. Look at fucking grizzled young veterans. When was the last time you saw them on AEW fucking television?
Over a year.
Months.
Yeah.
And it's because casual North American fans do not give two shits about pure wrestlers from overseas. And that's just, it's unfortunate, but that's reality.
Yeah, exactly. You have to stand out. You have to have some sort of, way that you'll connect with the crowd, whether they dress up as you. If they dress up as you, you've got something going there. That's one thing. And then also if you have a catchphrase or if you have some kind of meme like that, Io Sky is a prime. We're going to go again. Io Sky is a prime example. She was a great worker. She's a great worker and all. Yeah, she could have connected with she couldn't connect with her personality at the time. But now look what's happened. She literally
got herself over.
What's that? Sorry?
I said she organically got herself over.
She organically got herself over. Exactly. She started getting chance as the time progressed in this case here. And now she literally has an emote that everybody can relate to because it's like that's her. And that's her just being herself in this case here. So it's like, yeah, that's I guess that's my point there with all the talent there. So I mean, best of luck to all of them. I wish you all the best. I hope you guys get what you want out of your next careers or whatever you do. If you come back to WWE, I hope you do come back better than ever. But it's the nature of the business. This happened. This reminds me of how Kai and Tai was treated long ago. Such a talented group, but WWE treated them like a joke. With Kai and Tai, you're very limited with those guys.
Yeah,
because it's literally four small Japanese guys literally acting like silly brats. Do you think you're gonna have Kai and Tai at the top of your program? No, they were literally limited to curtain jerker or mid-card status.
And you can make that argument. You can make that same argument with the Wyatt Six. Look what they're doing to Alexa. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Wyatt stuff. I fucking love the Wyatt Six. But look what they're doing to Alexa. They are literally holding her wherever she is doing to wait and see if Bo can come back healthy and then whatever they're going to do. This is one thing that I'm not too crazy that Triple H does, and it is his booking. You can have Alexa be on TV right now in a division where you're releasing fucking talents. You can put her on TV. Same with Cross. You can put him on TV. and fucking perform. If he can't perform because of the blown eardrum, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't be so disingenuous where you're going to have him work a blood sport in his home fucking city and have him do a pointless fucking WrestleMania segment to lead to what it led to.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah,
I'm not afraid to criticize WWE, and I know maybe a lot of people that hear me rant every week don't think that I can criticize WWE.
No,
and I only
we could all
AEW.
criticize it. Yeah, we all criticize it. Points,
There is
yeah.
a lot of inconsistencies that Triple H has that I feel he's got to clean up. Granted, I know the first 2 years of him taking over was him cleaning up Vince's messes.
Mhm.
That excuse is gone now. We're at a point where guys like Austin Theory, girls like Alexa Bliss, guys like Karrion Kross, and the list goes on. For Nick Khan to go on the interview and say that they don't bench people and be confident in saying that is ridiculous. And I get the sentiment of why he said it, and I understand. Yeah, haha, let's fucking jab at AEW. But like, if you're going to say that, don't look like a fucking jackass when you have people that are hard workers that aren't on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so frustrated to the point of I have literally witnessed in the last 12 to 16 hours of social media wishing that there would be a fucking mass shooting in WWE, that people would nuke the PC Center, that somebody would off Triple H. Like, at what point do we not only hold Triple H accountable for stupid shit, but hold this community accountable for stupid shit? Like,
look, man,
those pages that you happen to share sometimes in the group chat, Sean, a lot of those people are people that aren't held accountable for stupid shit that they say.
Yeah, and you know the sad thing is like outside of like some of these other fandoms, our fandom is the worst fandom to
It's so bad
because
it's so fucking bad.
It's very hypocritical. It's very one sided, right? And people can hide behind the internet and not fucking have any consequences, which is shitty, right? Like somebody like that person that said that somebody should off Triple H. That person should be in jail for a threat. Right? Like, and that's just stupid, right? Nobody's held accountable for the things that they say on the internet. And whether you agree with it or not, like that is their job. That is their profession, right? They come into the industry with the understanding that it is not guaranteed to them, right? And you have to put the hard work in order to get it done. And unfortunately, sometimes, there's a basement dweller. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes men and women that are put in these positions aren't necessarily always going to shine or thrive. It happens. Get over it. Get the fuck over it. Because at the end of the day, somebody's not going to walk in McDonald's where you work at and say you don't deserve to work here, or you deserve to work here because of X, Y, and Z. So get the fuck over it. Get the fuck over it.
There's one other person that I want to mention, and JR, you alluded to it when we first started, and I feel like this is a comment that I feel needs to get mentioned. Keanu Carver, decided to take it upon himself last night and say that all these people are getting released, that he's upset about it, rightfully so. Some of them are his friends, and I get that. He decided to take it upon himself to jab at every Samoan that is on that roster because of who they politically support. And when you're somebody who is, no offense, quite literally a fucking nobody, and you have that IWC mentality drilled so far up your own ass that you feel the need to post shit like that. And there's also another person who I fucking used to adore as a person. And somebody pointed this out, and that's Kaden Carter. Lacey Lane, whatever you want to call her. She decided to retweet IWC nonsense. And people are saying that Triple H is holding her back and that she should be booked to the top of the division, yada, 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 yada.
You're not gonna put Kaden Carter at the top of your program. Like, look at her, man. I mean,
she's another
respectfully to
wrestler.
her.
She's another wrestler who is balls deep in the IWC's opinion that thinks that she's bigger than what she is. I love Kaden. I'm a really big fan of her and Chance. But the fact that you think that you're better than somebody like Rhea Ripley or fucking Liv Morgan or Io Sky is just mind-blowing.
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nia Jax, we got to put her. Yeah, okay, fine.
But I just feel like some of these talents, like you also look at something like Quincy Elliott, I think is a really good example of stupidity.
Yeah.
Had that IWC mentality and decided to throw slurs around and think that there'd be no consequences. There is a guy that I follow on Twitter who was talking about it in his space, and that's Julian, was talking about Kaden, saying you got to be fucking careful about what you put on social media because it's going to cost you your job. And she was reposting and reposting and reposting. It's like, listen, dude, we all appreciate you and we all support you when you're out in the ring. But when you put that stupid shit on social media is a very big deterrent for a lot of employers. You think an employer is not going to look back at shit that you post 10 years ago or shit that you retweet? Like, you are not bigger than the business. And the second that these talents like fucking Moxley, like Jericho, like Ospreay, when they stop having that mentality of being bigger than what they actually are, more people would support them. But they don't because they're fucking so full of themselves.
Yep. The last thing that I'm going to say before I'm done with this is that I saw a comment today that said if Triple H really wanted them, he would keep them, and that's what Will kind of said too. And that's true. If Triple H wanted to keep them, he would have kept them. But also it goes into if Triple H saw potential in them, he would keep them. And every single one of those people have lost the potential. And I'm a massive supporter of Shayna Baszler. I think she's a good human being. But if there was potential in her future, Triple H would have kept her. Same with Braun Strowman. Same with every single man and woman that was in that release list. And we act like this shit don't happen every fucking year.
We act like corporate America doesn't lay off hundreds of fucking people on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Sports teams let go of players every single year or such, or they have to turn over their roster because there's the underperforming players or they have players they can't afford.
Yeah, there's no
Exactly.
And well, I said this comment to one of my friends yesterday because he was flipping out about the whole releases thing. You can be upset. Nobody's telling you not to be upset. Sure. But in February alone, Walmart got rid of 100 fucking positions. Positions, not fucking employees, positions. Yep. And that was 7,000 employees that were let go because of those positions were gone.
Yep.
So before you fucking sit there and outrage, fucking put your money where your mouth is. Stop shopping at fucking corporate companies then, because they do the same fucking thing on a daily basis. Get over yourselves.
Yep, I agree. So with that being said, with us closing those comments down, Chris, what are you excited for this week?
I'm going to just try and enjoy the wrestling week, man. This community has taken a lot out of me these last 12 hours, I'm going to be honest with you. I try not to let the IWC get to me, but it's brutal. Sometimes it's really brutal to the point of it's really hard to enjoy a show without seeing massive amount of negativity. Yep. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on Raw and SmackDown. I think I'm looking more forward to NXT than anything because we got Stephanie and or not Stephanie. We have Julia and Jordan Grace. Then we get to find out who's facing Trick or who's facing Oba rather. And I'll be at NXT Battleground for that, so I'm excited for that.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna do my best to try and enjoy what WWE is going to give us and pray that Triple H has a plan for all the missing pieces that are on the roster now.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, JR? What are you looking forward to this week?
Well, off wrestling, my Toronto Maple Leafs got to the second round of the playoffs. So thank God. They were up 3-0 and they let in 2 games. So
sidebar to that. Did you see the fucking St. Louis Blues just absolutely eviscerate the Jets? Jesus Christ.
Their goalie is like a freaking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
3 times they pulled that man.
Yeah, he's let in. Sean, here's the difference with this goalie here. He has a goals against average of 2 a game at home. On the road, 7. Yeah,
Brutal.
it's been that bad. So they're going to game 7. But yeah, I'm looking forward to game 1. They just announced it's going to be on Monday, so I'm gonna have to have the hockey game on the big screen while Raw's gonna have to be on my my tablet in this case here. So I'm gonna have a double vision there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the continuing evolution, no pun intended, of Seth Rollins' faction there, seeing where the next step is, who's the first target in this case here of this rivalry. So we'll see what happens there. Yes, NXT is going to be interesting there, and then SmackDown. Well, looking forward to the next John Cena promo. Is looking forward to seeing that there.
That's the Go Home Pro show for Backlash, right?
Is the Go Home show for Backlash? Yeah, so that kind of makes sense why he's there. Okay, that makes sense there. Okay, perfect. So but other than that, and then just got some stuff for work, and then that's about it. Yeah.
Good luck to your leaves, man. That's gonna be a hell of a series.
They better be. They better. Oh my god. Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm excited, like you, JR, to see what happens with Seth Rollins' feud or Seth Rollins' group. See, what happens. And then we've got, Backlash on Saturday. I'm excited about that. I'm also excited. I planted 3 rose bushes yesterday out in the front of my house. And I know that's kind of like weird, but like I'm getting into the gardening stuff. I have a full-blown fucking garden that I'm growing. I got onions going. I'm trying to plant potatoes. Those shits aren't working for me. Ginger, turmeric, all the other healthy things. Working on that, and just in my personal life, I'm looking forward to things actually calming the fuck down. There's some shit that happened yesterday that made things exponentially harder on me. But I'm excited to see what happens, moving forward in life. I'm working on rearranging some stuff. I'm rearranging my office around. I put a frame around the Cody and Roman poster, so that was exciting. I'm excited about some of the more smaller things. Sean, need you to work on my front yard for me when you get a chance. Hey, man, if you can fund me coming down there, I'll do it all day. But
also, side note, we do miss you, Cody. Hope you're having a good vacation so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And furthermore, I'm excited about life. Hopefully, shit calms down a little bit for me. But So thank you, Will, for being here. You already know that we're grateful for you being here. Thank you, Ryan, for popping in, and Mama Michelle for popping in. And if you watched on Twitch, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us for that little bit of time that we did on a Saturday afternoon. Well earned, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So until next time, I hope that everybody has a good, safe week, and we will see you next week. We're going to be talking about Backlash if we do run on a Sunday. So until next week, be good, y'all. Much love. Bye.